flew in January, and I was out for 2 weeks, and I guess probably.
Welcome everybody, welcome to TecSocial. My name is Bob Pelly, I work with NovaCorp. Thanks for coming out to TecSocial. I'm pleased tonight that we have Rob and Daryl are here from Artisync, and it's a brand new startup. They're just getting rolling right now. They're going to tell you a little bit about it. They're one of the winners of our recent Spark Cape Breton competition, and really pleased that they're able to come out and share a bit of their story with us tonight, even though they're just kind of getting out of the gate. So I'm just going to turn it over to Rob right now, who will jump right in. Thanks, Rob.
Thank you. Thanks, Bob. So, as you all know, my name is Rob Parsons, and I am co-founder and co-creator, along with my partner Daryl Formier, of Artisync Technologies. And I have to say that we've been very honored to receive the Spark Fund. We were very unexpected, and since then it's been actually everything that we've talked about for the last year and a half has now become a reality. So it's been a wonderful shock and a wonderful growth for us. So our company is Artisync Technologies. And who we are? Well, Artisync is in the business of creating a collaborative, cloud-based hub for the creation of graphic novels, comic books, novels, and other similar electronic media, and bring these products to a global market. And we do this very uniquely. We're going to talk a little bit through this conversation. Oop, wrong way. So how this all started, we saw there was a big gap in the world. Myself and Daryl are both artists. I started my career, actually I went to school to become a comic book colorist. I've been involved in comic books all my life. I love them, and it's a big passion of mine. Daryl's been an artist, and actually both of us have very similar tastes. We're musicians, we're writers, you know. Just love the whole thing when it comes to artistry. And so what we discovered that there was a big gap for artists like myself and Daryl in really finding people to collaborate with on projects. One of the big problems that, as we're going to talk about with publishers, is trying to, get out there and network and find the right people. And that's not always easy to do because, as you know, most of us being from Cape Breton, we're in our, we call it Cape Breton bubble, and so we only know the people that we know. And it's very difficult to get out there to meet like-minded individuals. So what happens is, in a project such as, like, say, let's take a graphic novel. Well, you have a series of people and artists that have a very focused set of skill sets. For example, I do comic book coloring and I write. To draw, I'm all right, but it's not really my passion. But I'd love to find somebody who would work with me that has similar ways of thinking than I do. And that's a little scary, but it would be wonderful to find that right person. Well, the biggest problem is then now I have to, if I want to find these people, I have to go out and somehow network with I need an inker. Well, where do I find an inker at? So there's no real big networking platform. And a lot of people, Daryl brought this out, which I love, is one of the big things with a lot of us artists, we just like to be in our basement and do our thing. We just want to create. Leave us alone, and let us go. And that becomes a problem when we're trying to find other people in the same way. And another big gap we found is, okay, say if we did gather the right people after a long, trek, what do we do with our finished product? And this is where we come in. What we've done is we've created an actual matching, or we're creating actually a matching system that allows artists to come together that are like-minded. Think of eHarmony meets a project management system. Okay? It's going to be cloud-based, which allows for everybody worldwide to be a participant. And one of the big things about the website is going to be a project management resource site. So not only brings people together, it's going to help them develop their project and get it to market. Another problem we saw was in publishers. The big guys, DC, Marvel, Xenoscope. It's very difficult actually to get your stuff in there. There's a good reason why when you take a look at Marvel and DC, and you always see the same names over and over and over and over again. It's because it's very financially difficult to bring the proper and right people together on a marketable project. A lot of times, it's a large expense for them, and a lot of times they're overlooking and not finding potential talent. Because why? Well, we're all stuck in our basement creating. And the other thing, too, is a lot of times they're overlooking best-selling ideas. You'd be surprised at how many people I've met over my time that have this brilliant idea, but it's still sitting on the shelf because they don't have that networking or they haven't had the time. So again, what we're going to bring together here is with our matching system, we're able to match publishers with projects and teams. We're doing this with a minimal expense to the publishers, and the publishers will be able to see finished products, see project development, and hopefully and possibly participate in the project development. They'll be able to order custom products and, of course, order custom teams, which is very unique right now out there. So the market. This is what we found very interesting. In the print world, there's really only one major distributor in North America wide, that's Diamond Comic Distributors. And in 2013, they did approximately about $517 million in print sales. Now that ranges from comic books to magazines to graphic novels. And that's really up about 9% from 2012. The next one is Comixology. Now Comixology is the #1 digital comic distributor right now in the world. And the numbers are very cryptic because they're the only ones really out there and they haven't released anything yet. But through a couple different press releases, we discovered that about 2013 they did about $400 million worth of downloads. And the great thing, this is a new one that isn't in here, is Comixology recently, a couple weeks ago, got bought out by Amazon, which now is going to put their value through the roof. Okay, so now we're going to deal with comic books, but the print world too. So you're looking at about $1 billion industry right now, just for comic book sales, and that's just in North America. We haven't even touched on, Asian market or anything worldwide. So the team, as we talked about, is myself. My background's been 20 years in education, graphic design, branding, and web development. Daryl, who's the VP of production, again over 20 years in the IT industry, specialized in building web servers, programming large enterprise websites, and along those lines. Okay. The model for it? Well, the supply for it, of course, is the artists, the writers, colorists, letters, editors, inkers. Okay, those are the ones that we're really focused on, and they're going to supply the products in the end. And what they will do is connect to Artisync technologies. Now, in here, we have different areas. We have services, where we provide profile matching, project development, finished product offerings, custom offerings, of course, project management. Now, these are going to be based on subscription. This is where a lot of the revenue will start coming in. From there, once the product is finished, their final output, which is where the demand is. Right now, we're looking at direct sales with publishers, where they can see finished project, order custom products, and order custom teams. We also have the sellers, such as Comixology, right? And that's where we're looking at for distribution of products that we can help our teams get into. But we're also looking at possibly putting an online publishing house, direct sales. So the projects that may not be picked up right away, that we'll be able to actually kind of kickstart them a little bit. Get them out there, they get a fan base, they get them noticed along those lines. Okay? And of course, we have advertising. With the data that we're going to be collecting, we're going to be able to do very targeted marketing towards our clients. How are we going to do this? Well, like I said, we're going to be cloud-based, so it's accessible anywhere. Computer, phone, and tablet. We're going to make sure that it's, of course, as usual, wide gambit, and it's going to be a project management system that be able to, if you're sitting here in TecSocial, be able to look that there's a new project that they might be interested in. Recognition will be done through Facebook, Twitter, blogs, reviews, advertising, and through direct contact that we have in the industry already. Our competition right now, it's very unique. There's a company actually in BC called Pixton. They're BC based. Right now, they've announced that they are building a team-based project for their Pixton site. But what they really do is it's for the non-designer. It's actually a lot of fun. It's actually a great site. I had a lot of fun on it. But they have a lot of clip art and a lot of templates and a lot of little things. And you click and drag. And a lot of teachers are using it. They're really focusing on the education world to help teach kids. And like I said, their market focus is hobbyists and schools. Another company who is a direct competitor is Curiosity Quills. They're a well-established ebook book publisher down in the States. And through contacts that I have through the company, they have suggested that they have a similar project that they're working on. But it would be very directed towards them in their own company and their own writers and things like that. How we stand out, of course, we have our profile project matching. It's for all artists and all publishers. It's cloud-based networking, and of course, our project management services, which is very unique. Another direct competitor we looked at, of course, was Freelancer, Elance, and 99designs.com. And what these sites are crowdsourcing sites, where somebody like myself who has an idea can say, well, for 150 bucks, can you draw out this page for me, do a cover, things along those lines. It's not really a team-based site, but you know, it is something that you can do or a client can do. Their main focus is small, low-paying projects, and of course, the major publishers themselves, DC, Marvel, Uniscope, they're definitely competitors for us. And our uniqueness, profile project matching, our monetary values have a higher potential because they're directly related right with the authors and the team itself. All members have a stake in the project, where you're not being hired by somebody. And the big one for us, anyways, is a sense of dream and idea realization. So if I have an idea and all of a sudden I'm starting to see it come alive in front of me with a group of people that I get along with and that work with me, that understand how I think, it's an amazing feeling. I've had wonderful experiences throughout my career of that, and to see and to have that happen digitally for most artists is an amazing feeling. Where we are right now, we're just still in the conceptual stage. As Bob said, we're just taking off. Right now, we mapped out the modules. The unique thing about what we've done is everything is modularized, meaning we can swap things out very quickly. And there's a reason for that. We work with John Elbert, who has been helping us along the way, and it's been fantastic. We have created a potential revenue path, performed a small verbal survey, and right now we have about 3 to 5, and actually since I wrote this, I think we're up to about 10 to 11 projects ready to go as soon as the site's up and running. What's next? Well, we're working with John and Venture Solutions Inc., where we're developing right now a product development schedule. We're looking at additional funding through IRAP and the Canadian Media Fund, not only for ourselves, but to also expand our team to hire on more people that would be needed. We have worked on a revenue generation plan, and of course, we're narrowing down the marketing plan. On the website side, we are creating the beta cycle right now, and what we're doing is we are starting to create the matching algorithms, both for the artists and the publishers, because there's going to be 2 unique algorithms for that. Module creations and, of course, the interface design. Again, we're in the conceptual stage of that right now. After that, we need to do beta test recruitment, and the more important one is publisher beta test recruitment. We need to get a couple publishers on board to test the site out to see if they like it and get feedback back and forth. In conclusion, what we've done, with my corrupt logo, Artisync fills a gap. We definitely have a strong growing market. If you ever took a look at the comic book industry, over the last 8 years, it's been a continual growth, especially in the digital world. And there's been a lot more independent artists and publishers coming out. Approximately about 320 online publishers right now of comic books. whether it be cartoons or full graphic novels. We have an experienced team, a focused future vision, and this is where the modularization comes in. The engine that we're creating is actually extremely flexible, so we can actually branch out into the game industry, animation industry, music, or even the inventors market. And that's how close the engine will, or how easily flexible the engine is. Thank you very much. Any questions?
Any questions for Rob or Daryl? Don't be shy. How long, Rob, do you think you'll be online and kind of people will be able to sign up on their own?
We're looking at the beta to be up and running about 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, more likely around the 6 months range. And after that, after the beta testing, we're probably looking at another 3 to 6 months.
Okay. And beta test, will that be by invitation only, or will
Yes.
it? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, one of the great things is I have a connection out west in BC with Quality Quills and a very strong slew of comic book people, and so does Daryl. Like just through connections, we'll be able to create a good, strong team, and then invite them in to tear it apart, make it better. That's the whole point, right? I'll put it to you this way: we're creating this because we want to use it. You know.
How would other comic book writers find out about you?
Well, that'll be through word of mouth. That's really what's going to come down to it. The great thing about the community is you're part of blogs, you're part of online communities quite a bit. And once somebody gets the bug and finds out about it, it'll spread very quickly. Yeah. Because it's a very communicated group, especially when you're looking for new ideas, jobs, how to make money, and how to make their passion a career. So. Anybody else? Or?
Do you plan to try to build a relationship with Comicology?
Not at this point. It hasn't really come up. That's easy though, actually, because they're just a distributor. If we bring our own online publishing house, we can easily join Comicology. That's not a problem.
There may be an opportunity there because if I understand with the acquisition by Amazon, they plan to block out in-app purchasing, which a lot of people like.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
I haven't had a chance to read up in the last 2 weeks on what's happening, but there's always an opportunity, especially when you get a company like Amazon that takes over. I mean, their brand, like the growth of that company in the last 15 years has been exponential, right? And it's just, it's an amazing story. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Comicology, because there's a couple. You got your naysayers and you got your yes, and yeah, of course, it's just like Disney taking over Star Wars and stuff like that. It's you got your pros and you got your cons.
When a business drops a feature, yeah, that's an opportunity.
Yeah, that's true.
Anybody else? Both Rob and Daryl are gonna stick around tonight. So if you're too shy to ask out loud, I'm sure you can corner them over at the victuals table there and between cheese bites. So thanks again, Rob. Really appreciate it.